on. Oh my goodness. Guys, welcome back to the YouTube channel. You already know what time it is. It's time for London Club's Carnage. It's going to be carnage. It's going to be carnage. Internet connections are moving mad. Mine, I think, as well, is bugging. Tobs is definitely bugging. Potts is probably the only one in the clear here. So this patchy episode we're going to bring to you today. Lawless will be in as well. Lateness is greatness for him. His team didn't even play anyway. Potts, I'll start with you, bro. How are you doing? Fresh off the back of a win after the group chat was hopping after your exit to Sporting. We have to calm ourselves down now and be quiet.
Well, you can still banter me about Europe, but you can't banter me about the league. That's the way it is. I think it was a good one. Do you know what? I actually have really heavy couple of days drinking, if I'm honest. After that Thursday night, I was like St. Paddy's Day, and then Saturday I went out, and then Sunday with football, celebrating beating Palace. So I'm a little bit like tired, man. I can't lie to you, but it cheered me up after a disappointing day on Friday morning, thinking, yeah, we could have done better. But 1 game a week now, 10 cup finals to go. I'm a happy bunny, man.
Yeah, sounding like you're a bit of an alcoholic to me.
Yeah, some would say that, bro. Some would say that, but just for this week. Celebrations, Tobs. That's what it is.
Seems like a regular occurrence to me, but
bro, yeah. I mean, Paddy's Day. I actually usually when I was back in Ireland, I would go nuts for this because this is tradition for the Irish. You cannot fail. I mean, Hugh was out as well for Big Six, but I was like, you know what? Let me just stay in. I'm not in Ireland. Let me calm down. Tobes, brother, how are you? A lot of Tottenham fans been trying to go on holidays and take breaks and not watch Tottenham, but they brought you back into the festivities with that draw.
It's ridiculous, man. Yeah, man. Just when you think, okay, I'm not going to tune in, something crazy happens, and it's like, for goodness sake. So I'm just going to stop saying that I'm not going to watch Spurs. What I should probably say is,
why are you saying that?
What I'm going to change it to, I'm not watching Spurs live. I'm taking a break from watching Spurs live, and I'm sticking to that. I'm not going to another game until the United match.
Bloody hell. I mean, you go to all the games, all the home ones, and as many as you can away. So when you're saying you're not going to games, and same with Abby as well and X, when everybody's saying they're not going to games, I'm just like, raw. What's the point? And I get it.
Because I'd rather just watch it. I'd rather, I was disappointed after Southampton, but you know what I did? Switch the TV to Your Honor, and I just continued with my day. It was only until the Conte madness that happened that I was like, okay, crap, maybe I should talk about this. Bro, as far as I'm concerned, Everton, you're not going to see a pre or post match reaction, maybe, unless something mad happens. I don't even know who we play next. Brighton. Maybe I might do one for Brighton because they're closer to us in the table. Bournemouth, you couldn't pay me. You couldn't pay me to do one for Bournemouth. So it's one of them ones where it's just like, if something mad happens, I'll do something. Otherwise, there's no point. There's no point. We're just going to spend the time saying the same thing over and over and over and over again. How many times can you say Spurs are poor? Spurs are poor. Spurs are poor. How many times?
Me.
Tapped out, Tobes.
Is it me or is it him? Whose connection is it, Potts?
No, I think it's both of you, if I'm honest. But I can hear Tobes actually, and then you went quiet, Matisse. So I don't know what's going on.
No, I just changed. I can see everybody, but it's the volume is just patchy as hell. But I switched now to Bluetooth for a second, so let me compose. But yeah, I mean, I think we may as well start with Tottenham because your game was, I mean, our game was a lot as well to take in. 2-2 draw at home to Everton, which is embarrassing. Last minute equalizer, you guys last minute equalizer as well against a team that is bottom. So both of us can't handle our business. But what made things even more entertaining for Tottenham was the quotes. Again, Conte's quotes. I guess I can maybe track this from Turf Moor Burnley last season all the way up until this game now against Southampton, where this guy just decided to throw everybody and anybody under that bus. The board, the players, everyone. And what are your thoughts on it? Because I've got thoughts on it, but I want to know what you think first because I couldn't believe what I was hearing, to be honest.
What? Thoughts on the game or thoughts on his comments?
I say thoughts on his comments to begin with because his comments were were mad. I don't even know how he trains the players again after speaking like that.
Fortunately, his comments, I quite liked them, to be honest. I quite liked him blowing everything up and just shooting at the hip, questioning the mindset and mentality of players, their desire to win, questioning how at Spurs 20 years they don't really compete for anything important. He's 100% right, and he's only an echo chamber for what has been said amongst a large part of the fan base for years now, years, right? So he's not wrong in what he's saying, but all of those things that he mentioned takes away the heat of him, right? He, for some reason, seems to think that because Spurs have failed for the most part under ENIC when it comes to winning trophies, challenging for major honors, right? He seems to think that sort of supersedes the nonsense that he has served up this season, which it doesn't. It does not, because if it did, previous managers before him would still be here, right? Nuno would still be here. Jose Mourinho would still be here. Juande Ramos would still be here. If managers were not held accountable for their actions, rightly or wrongly, sometimes because they're the ones that get sacked and the ownership get a free pass. But that, my thoughts on that. He has not taken accountability for his input into our season. You're right. The players can be gutless. The players don't really look like they're capable as a unit of getting themselves over the line. When you look at the repeated years of failure, you're absolutely right. You're right. Under this ownership, there's been no trophies, blah, blah, blah. He's 100% right on all of these things. But talk about how Spurs didn't score in 180 minutes against Milan. Talk about how you managed the team that went out to Sheffield United. Talk about how you managed the team that went out to Nottingham Forest. So I saw Conte talking about all the things that are going wrong at club level, at board level, and at player level, but you didn't mention anything that's gone wrong at manager level. That was my only issue with the interview. Everything you said is calm, but what about the part you have to play in our season? It's massive. When you look at the circumstances in which we've gone out of these competitions, it's been a case of Spurs being toothless. It's not been like a crazy defensive error. Okay, cool. Romero got sent off against AC Milan, but in the first leg, we had 90 minutes against AC Milan's second string goalkeeper, Tatarusanu. He's one of the worst goalkeepers I've seen in recent months, and we didn't test him. We didn't test him even on the weekend against Southampton. People say, "Oh no, but they scored 3 goals," and you're right. Typically, if you score 3 goals, 3-1 up, you should see the game out, and it's disgraceful. It's a disgraceful result to even draw. I'm sorry, it's a disgraceful result to even draw. But when I was watching that game, we were 3-1 up, but I never felt that Spurs were in any control of the game. I never felt that Spurs were putting serious pressure on Southampton. More often than not, when both teams were attacking, they looked more dangerous than we did. And they are at the foot of the table. But the side that has Harry Kane, that has Pedro Porro, that has Son, that has Kulusevski, we could only muster 3 attempts on target. 3 attempts on target against Southampton. You should be working that goal non-stop. You should be peppering that goal non-stop. How? How is it possible that Southampton, they had 19 attempts to our goal. We had 17. We only scored, and I was listening to Alistair Gold. We only scored, so we scored 3 goals, but we scored 3 goals with our only 3 shots on target. We only had 3 shots on target. We scored 3 goals. But Zunu did not have a difficult afternoon. And that for me is the most problematic. Okay, Spurs have dropped points here. It's disgraceful, but why? We already know the defense is bad. Nobody blames Conte for the defense. Nobody. I'm not here saying, wow, it's Conte's fault that Eric Dyer gives Theo Walcott acres of space, that Longley and Perisic can't deal with Theo Walcott on the right-hand side. No, I'm blaming you because in 90 minutes of football, you can't coach a side that can properly attack Sheffield United. You can't coach a side that can properly attack AC Milan. And then when you look at all the things that Conte has done wrong this season, they're the exact opposite of the things he did right last year. Right? Squad management, piss poor. Rotation, piss poor. Tactics, piss poor. Results, piss poor. Everything is down from last year. Everything is down. Goals conceded, increased. Chance creation, increased. Every good thing about last season is down, apart from goals, maybe, because Harry Kane's been scoring 21 and 27 goals. But the rest of the attack is faltering. And even Kane, he's one of those players that most won't question. You can question Harry Kane sometimes. You can. In a game like in some of these matches where we need someone to stand up and be a leader on the pitch.
That's harsh.
No. I'm not digging out Kane, right? I'm talking about his point. He said, "Oh, they're selfish players." Fine. Even if you think players are selfish, even if you can give examples of the better players in our teams that aren't really pushing, carrying the load. Harry Kane has scored 21 goals in 27 games this season.
Facts. Exactly.
Do you get what I'm saying? Like, the point I'm making is this: Antonio Conte. I said it on my post match. He's not wrong for what he said, but that doesn't mean he's in the right. You're not in the right here. You cannot come out of this. You can't come out of this with any dirt. You can't come out of this with no dirt on your name. Impossible. You've come here. You are meant to try and change the mindset, change the mentality. You're talking about a loser mentality, etc., etc. Isn't that the remit? Isn't that part of the remit of a manager to try and change the mentality of a club? Is it not? If it wasn't, then what's the point in paying him such a premium salary? This is what he's meant to bring, right? You bring winning DNA. You rip out the dross. You lay down the law. Yeah, you get the players thinking and playing for you. But right now, what we can see is a manager who has no motivation to manage Spurs. And it shows in the performances for the team. So when you're making the press conference, you're absolutely spot on. These players need to be called out. The board needs to be called out. Again, I repeat, I love the fact that he's calling out these men because we've tried all sorts of alternatives in the past. Changing manager, doing this, doing that. It's not worked. It's not garnered the reaction that we need because here we are, 2023. Spurs are still being Spursy. Spurs are still bottling situations. Spurs are still not winning trophies. So I have no qualms with him blowing and amplifying the issues from the of our club across the media. I have no issues with that whatsoever. But the fact that you can't take accountability for the part you have played in our season, which is massive.
Huge.
It's absolutely scary.
Do you know what I don't like about what he's doing is the fact that he's saying that, okay, you're going to question the fight and the selfishness or, the selflessness of the players. But at the start of the season, these players were fighting because they were coming from behind constantly, bringing results back from the dead, being 1-2-0 down and coming back. So there was no question about the spirit and the mentality then. And then as the season's gone on and his future and the question marks about his own mentality as a coach and where his future lies and where he's going to end up, I'm not surprised to see the deterioration of the squad's mentality along with it, because at the end of the day, you're leading from the front. You're the one that everybody's listening to, following and taking motivation from and tactics. And yet no one knows what your future is. How is anybody meant to be settled and on the same page when your future is up in the air? And I think he tried to call out the board, which is fine. Like, you're always going to get brownie points for calling out the board. But I feel like it's very easy for him to come and do that. He's trying to almost pull the hood over people's eyes. And it, like you said, it didn't work for you, right? If the board are, and I was speaking to Abby about this, she feels like they have purposefully almost kind of influenced the lineups in cup fixtures over the years, where you seem to always rest in the FA Cup, you always seem to rest in the Carabao Cup and focus on qualify for the Champions League in the league when, clearly you guys won a trophy. If he wanted to stand up to the board and stop this whole, winless rut that you guys are on for trophies, then why not play a strong team against Sheffield United and say, fuck the board, fuck whatever you think that we should be doing in this cup. I'm gonna take Tottenham to a final and try and win the cup, and I'm gonna make my stance then. Why are you doing it after all the cups are done? All of the cups are finished now, and you're talking about not winning anything. When you played against AC Milan, who you're more than capable of beating and making changes for an in-game management, and you fumbled the bag against Sheffield United, and now you want to make a statement. It doesn't make any sense. It's late. It's too late.
It's cowardly from Conte, and you know how much I rate Conte, but it's cowardly from Conte. And when I say this, I'm not saying this to protect the club. I'm not even saying this to protect the players. I couldn't give a rat's ass if 70% of the squad were gone in the summer. I couldn't care less. Even some of the ones that I like, genuinely, I could not. I will not lose a night's worth of sleep if we lost the majority of our squad now. Like, I genuinely hate watching us play right now. And it's not even, I'm not even one of these style merchants. When I say I hate watching us play, it's not even just the style. It's not even, it's boring. It's the fact that I'm watching a team that literally have no conviction to go and win the game of football. Yeah. That's why I hate watching us. I hate it. So I'm not trying to protect anybody. I'm not trying to shield Levy. I would love nothing more than new ownership, a completely brand new squad, new manager, just overhaul the whole thing, just get rid of it. But I don't like the fact that Antonio Conte pretends as if he hasn't got enough to be doing better than he has done this season. Nobody expects Tottenham to finish second. Nobody is going to blame you even if you had gone out to AC Milan with your head held high, right? I use you as an example when we were talking about Liverpool. I use you as an example. When you had Real Madrid last year, okay, cool. You made a couple of mistakes at your ground at Stamford Bridge, but when you went to their ground, you absolutely blamed them. You blamed them for the majority of that game, and it was fine margins that ultimately cost you on the day, right? But you don't look at that, and you're not looking at that saying, "Wow, I'm so disappointed with Tuchel." Yeah, you can be disappointed with part of the team, but you know fundamentally, your manager has gone out there with a game plan to win. Yeah. You can't say that with Antonio Conte with Milan, both home and away, and yet you're coming out saying stuff like, "Oh, this is a team with rich history." They just got slapped again. They lost to Udinese 3-1. Every single time I'm tuning into Serie A, they keep losing. They're getting slapped. Silly. Udinese, Fiorentina, Inter Milan, Juventus, Sassuolo. Every single person is having their way with AC Milan this season.
It's true. We even fucking beat them in the group twice.
You that didn't go, that went a whole month without scoring one goal. You battered them. Obviously, they had injuries. There's caveats. Cool. Yeah. But they were missing players in the first leg. And there was nothing there. Yeah. The performance in possession was much better because of the midfielders that we brought in on the day. But in terms of penetrating AC Milan, there was nothing there. And that's the problem. When you look at the manner of these losses, it's got his fingerprints all over it. That's the problem. If Spurs were going out because we've actually gone out there and given a game to them, pepper their goal, and Dyer or Romero or whoever costs us, at least we can say, okay, you're vindicated here because you've coached. What you've done as a coach is fair. You've made the right subs. You've tried to adjust to what the game demands, and Spurs have lost because of fine margins, mistakes, but we can't even say, "Oh wow, now we lost the game because we missed this chance. We lost the game." We can't even say, "Oh, we lost the game because we missed." We didn't create chances. Yeah, we didn't create chances over the game. How are we gonna go through? What chances did we create?
What I don't get about this, right? I'll bring you into this, Potts, right? Is they have one of the most lethal strikers on the planet, and they don't play to him. Like if you're gonna see that your defense is weak, why play defensively? If you've got attackers that Richarlison had a very good World Cup, right? He got his wonder goal. Harry Kane's there. Son has been prolific over the years, but you've now got Danjuma, you've got Kulusevski, now Pedro Porro as well as an attacking wing back. Perisic, like you've got very good attacking options. Why are you not playing to score goals? And I'm not saying completely negate the defense, but don't play defensive if your defense is crap. Do you know what I mean? Like play on the front foot, play to get as many chances to Harry Kane as possible, so he can have as many shots, so he can score as many goals as he can, and maybe try and win the game 3-2. Why not? Potts, I don't know what you make of it. This guy, it's just insane what I'm watching from him. And again, the track record of Chelsea, Inter Milan, and now Tottenham, every single club this guy goes to, it ends sour and it ends with him blowing shit up every
To
time.
be fair, I don't think he blew anything up at Inter Milan. I think they just lost money. So he just
well, they just no money. But yeah, that's true. Yeah, Pops.
Yes, really hard for me to watch. I lost a lot of sleep last few nights watching this. Feel so bad for these fans. Listen, I love Toby, and Toby knows I love him. But the club's a circus, man. The club is an absolute circus from top to bottom. And, you know, I look at the Harry Kane situation, and if he was, it's like when a cruel owner is like being out of order to their dog, like the RSPCA needs to be called and give him a new home, man. Like it's done, man. This is so cruel on him. He's so good. He's going to remember his career as saying, what a player I was. Look at these individual awards I've got. I've got nothing else to show for it. A player that good should be winning stuff, man. I'm sorry. Like, he is ridiculous. You know, I mentioned it with Tobs earlier. 21 goals in 28 games. If it weren't for Haaland, people would be talking about Kane, saying, what a player again this season. Because Haaland's blew him out of the water in some ways, blew everybody out of the water in terms of banging them in. I don't think people are mentioning it. Add that to the fact that actually not a lot of people are happy at Tottenham. But I will ask this, right? Tottenham look comfortable, in my opinion, at the moment to have a top 4 challenge. I still think they'll get it, even if they keep Conte. I think he wants to walk, by the way. I think he's begging to get sacked.
He wants to be sacked.
100%.
Desperately.
But I still think they'll get top 4. They're still in my top 4 predictions. They were at the start, and I'm going to keep them in there. But, like, I wonder how frustrated Tottenham fans would be if Arsenal weren't top of the league. Now, bear with me with this one, right? Because if Arsenal were 5th or 6th right now, would Tottenham fans be irate?
Yes.
I'm not so sure.
Yes, we would be. Yes, we would be. Absolutely, we would be. Of course, we would be angry. We went out to Sheffield. Flip's sake. I don't know what's going on.
We can still hear you.
Yeah, we can still hear you.
I don't know what's going on with my laptop. I don't know why it's doing this. But we went out to Sheffield United. We went out to Sheffield United.
Every year you go out.
What's that?
Every year you go out the Cups.
Yes, but I'm talking about the manner of the exits and the opposition that we played. We went out to championship opposition. They're in the semi-finals now against Man City. Your pathway would have been Sheffield United and Blackburn to get into an FA Cup semi. When was the last time Spurs had an easier run to get into the semi-final of an FA Cup? When? It's the manner of the defeats that's pissing me off. And you're saying, oh, it's to do with Arsenal. But what you need to remember is the whole premise of bringing in someone like Antonio Conte is to try and end our trophy drought.
Yeah.
So that has nothing to do with Arsenal.
So
unless we play Arsenal. Unless we meet Arsenal in the cup competitions, that has no effect on your season. Your season has no effect on our season unless we play you in the cup competitions. The aim was to try and deliver a trophy, break this trophy drought, do something with you that we've not been able to do with other managers. We've not been able to do that. So, okay, granted, the issue is probably exacerbated by Arsenal being top of the league, but even if Arsenal were 3rd or 4th or 5th, I would still have this fury towards Conte and towards the players and towards the team because we've gone backwards. Irrespective of what Arsenal have done this season, Spurs have gone backwards.
So last season, when you went out to Middlesbrough, who was your manager?
Pardon?
When you went out of the cup to Middlesbrough last year, who was your manager?
Antonio Conte. And that was disappointing. And we slammed him for that.
Where was the outrage then? That's what I'm saying.
There was outrage. What do you mean? Where was the outrage? There was outrage, bro.
So why was it absolutely amazing? You got your top 4. He might do the same this year. Be out the cup top 4. So it's all again, happy. Everyone was running rings, right? Oh, Arsenal missed out. Tottenham got it. You might have the same. You might have the same season as last year. Is my point.
But Potts, you're actually a smart guy. Context matters. Last year at the start of the season, it was not an expectation to get top 4. Spurs. Nobody had Spurs for 4th.
Yeah,
nobody.
They were coming back from the shitty start, isn't it?
Nobody had Spurs for 4th. When he picked up Spurs in November, we were 7th or 8th, right? And our squad last year was not as good as the squad this year. We got 4th last year, albeit at your expense. Yeah, it was great because we didn't expect 4th. I did not expect top 4. It only took me until maybe March or April to say, you know what? Oh, wow, we could actually get top 4 here. We can actually get top 4. There was no expectation to do it. This year, there is an expectation to get top 4, especially because of the money that we spent, the players that we've added to this team, and where we finished last year with the same group of players. So it's not a foregone conclusion that we expect that with better players added to the same squad that finished last year, you should see a better product. But we haven't seen a better product. The football is worse. The results are worse. The goals conceded.
If you were still in the FA Cup, none of this would be in question. If you were still in the FA Cup,
I still think the Champions League exit is a massive issue as well. Like both. Tottenham are not aiming to win the Champions League. However, you've got to go past AC Milan. You have to.
I'm not saying that you shouldn't be pissed, right? What I'm getting at is if you were still in the FA Cup right now,
but they're not.
All the fans be on board with it. No, they're not. Well, that's what I'm saying. It's so important that they want a trophy this season. So if you did beat Sheffield United, everything's fine and rosy.
No, I don't agree with that. Yes, the fury might not be as intense, but there would still be criticism because we're going backwards, bro. Spurs have not been good all season, Potts.
Literally all season.
I've given every excuse. Matisse knows. I've given every excuse. I've given so much time. Do you know how much it hurts me to be speaking about Conte about this? I've given every single excuse. Oh, this player is not back yet. Oh no, we're waiting for this player to hit form. We're waiting on this. I've given every single excuse possible. There are no more excuses.
Yeah,
there's no more excuses. I liken it to Jose Mourinho when Jose Mourinho was in the cup final. Right? He was in the cup final, a Carabao Cup final. Why was the atmosphere so sour? He's in the cup final, right? Spurs are at that point. Spurs were above Arsenal, right? Why was it so sour? It was so sour because the performances were not good enough. The results were not good enough, and the manager was not doing a good job, and the players weren't doing a good job. So
I just wanted to test it with you because I feel like there's a lot of hate because of how well we're doing, and it's like, why are we not like that? Because we finished above them last season.
I don't think Tottenham fans expect to be where you are. I don't think they expect to be anywhere near where you are at all.
Like, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted. It burns. I'd be a liar if I said that it doesn't hurt me that we've gone from eclipsing you last year and snatching the top 4 that you so badly wanted as well to being 20 points behind you. That hurts. That burns because you're challenging for honors. You're challenging for honors that we've only done once in probably my lifetime as a Spurs fan since the inception of the Premier League, which is challenged for a title, and you're doing it with a much better style, more points accumulated, etc., etc. That part, it burns. But what burns more is seeing your club go backwards. That's what burns more. If you won the league title if you went on to win the league title this year, as much as that would hurt, and as much pelt as I would get or whatever, I'm a Spurs fan. I've lived through you winning league titles. I want to see my team do well, and we're not doing well. We're going backwards. So everyone says, "Oh yeah, Spurs are 4th now," but are we actually watching these performances? As Matisse, we spoke about
exactly.
When people are saying Spurs don't deserve to be 4th and stuff, right? There's a reason why people say that because what they're watching isn't good. But my argument to Matisse is, unfortunately, the table doesn't lie. And the table doesn't lie because the teams behind Spurs are so inconsistent. They're so inconsistent. It's so as poor as Spurs have been, Liverpool have been just as bad. Chelsea have been worse. Newcastle have been really poor in 2023, for instance, right? But bottom line, Tottenham have not been good. And the fact that we can have a better team than we had last year and be performing worse, it doesn't sit right with me at all. It does not sit right with me. And that's not all down to Conte. It's not. Players have been shocking. Some players have been shocking this season. Yeah. The investment that we need in the defensive areas has not been good enough in the summer and in January, right? It's not all down to Conte, but he plays a part in this, a big part.
So what happens now, though? Because you made a
collective responsibility.
Get rid of him, bro.
So, and this is serious, Tobs, right? You get rid of him. I understand it. Yeah, I get why you want to get rid of him. You've had enough. I understand it, right? But what now? What actually next? Because for me, Conte has to go wherever, right? But if you are stuck with this ownership and Enoch Levy, blah, 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 they're just going to appoint some other man and then it's all over the Saviors repeat again. You've tried the Poch project, they didn't like it. You've tried the CV of Jose Mourinho, they didn't like it. You tried the proven manager in the Prem, in Nuno, which in my point was a bad one. It didn't work. They didn't like Conte now. He's like a win now manager. Where the hell do they go from here now? So my question is to you, you just get rid of Conte. I can't see that make it job done, right? We can finally go for it, go win stuff now. Like for me, there's ownership issues, man.
I've got news for you. And I said this, I think what game did I say it? I think it was after we went out to Sheffield United. I said it at the Big Six. As far as I'm concerned, Tottenham are not winning anything under this ownership. It doesn't matter who we bring in. Once Conte goes, Tottenham are not winning anything under this ownership. How can you expect a team to win when the people that own the team don't have any sort of desire to win? Tottenham are not winning anything. It's gonna take a miraculous job, similar to what Pochettino did, where he completely changed everything, and a completely different mindset from the ownership to make that a reality. This season, you could probably say that Conte has hampered our chances of winning silverware, but as far as Spurs actually winning anything long term is concerned, I don't expect it with this ownership. I don't. I'm done.
So what do your fan base do now then about it? Because this is what my question was to ask fans who wanted Kroenke out ages ago. What are the fans actually going to do about it apart from moan? Unite together. Don't go to games.
I don't know. We need to
walk
do
out
something
on the
together.
I don't know. Walk out together on the 30th minute. All of you go. All of them one stand. Something like that has to be done, man. Because the ownership are laughing. They're putting go-kart tracks on the bottom underneath it now. It's all a business. It's all about NFL, F1. This is a bit. How many concerts can we get this year? Daniel Levy doesn't care about winning trophies, mate. It's embarrassing, bro. Like, honestly, it's a shambles of a club, man. I'm not just saying it because I'm a gooner.
You mentioned about obviously Chelsea and not capitalizing, and this is exactly what happened this weekend. We drew 2-2 against Everton. Did anybody get to see Chelsea 2-2? Because if you did, I mean, what you saw was
I watched it
terrible in-game management once again, where we just failed to even see out a match where we were actually handed the game on a platter. We was 2-1 up via penalty, and for some reason we decide that we're gonna park the bus against Everton, and with Gallagher and not bringing on any attackers and not trying at least show some sort of threat going the other way to make Everton respect us. We played like relegation candidates. Same way we locked up early against Leeds, we got away with it. But then this time it came back to bite the manager on the arse. We ended up conceding a goal to Sims, who I didn't even know who he was until that goal was scored. Koulibaly got absolutely flipped and spun. The amount of I don't know, I'm not going to say hype, but people are getting too excited too quickly. Oh, beat Leeds, beat Leicester, beat Dortmund. I'm like, just wait, because I expected us to beat Everton, but we have big games coming up. We've got Brighton, we've got Brentford, we've got Liverpool, we've got United, we've got City, we've got Arsenal. How are we going to go into these massive matches with a team that with a manager that's not beaten a top 6 team in this league since he's got the job? When we're in-game management like that, the performance didn't even deserve a win anyway. Like, I was looking at the game thinking, you know what? Cool, we've had more chances. If we win, I get it. We've been more attacking than they have, but I didn't feel sorry for us that we conceded. Definitely not. It wasn't something where I was like against the run of play. I was sitting there for the whole second half thinking, I feel sick. I'm watching a performance that is just like evaporating here, and we're gonna get stung. They're gonna capitalize on this. So yeah, man. I think for us right now, Premier League, Toby keeps saying you must about top 4. I think the best we can hope for is even top 6. And I feel like I'm pushing it now, because this team have showed so much inconsistency with the fixtures they've got coming up. They're not going to be favourites going into most of these games that they've got coming up. So I have no confidence that I'm even going to get that target. But top 6 should be the minimum when you have a team like that.
Do you want to stick
massive
with him?
Massive minimum on that.
Do you want to stick with him? Whatever.
Well, it's too late to sack him. It's too late to sack him now. Like, if you were going to sack him, you would have had to sack him after Southampton. In my opinion, that would have been the breaking point.
You're really blaming Potter for that game?
Did you watch the game?
Yeah, I watched it. Your players are fucking idiots. Your players are fucking idiots, mate.
Wait a minute. Who are you?
That's what that boils down to. Watching that game, the decision making in that game was criminal, absolutely criminal. All over Everton. The final ball, shocking, time and time again. How can you sit there and not look at the players after that game? Come on.
I do look at the players, but when you're in relegation form with 2 wins out of your last God knows how many, and you're at home to Everton,
came on the tail end, haven't they?
The 2 wins have come against Leicester and Leeds. 2
undefeated.
teams that are scrapping for relegation.
You could say you're undefeated. You're undefeated. You're unbeaten.
Oh God. You brought your West Ham relegation expectations into this, and now you're applying
like, at this point, like, if you're just gonna, like, as a whole, but if we're analyzing this game, you're gonna sit there and say, "Oh, we drew because of Potter."
I'm not saying it was solely to him, but at this point, he has to take the majority of the responsibility because he's the one that is managing this team and he's the one coaching this team. Have you seen any patterns of play from Chelsea since he got in? No, you haven't. You haven't. Can you say what the style is since he's got in? No. In this game, he's gone to results, right?
You look at that game and say that's what you.
In the last couple of matches, he's gone down a results-driven kind of like mentality. The formation's gone back to a back 3, and he's been like, "I'm going to bring Gallagher on at halftime. I'm going to bring him on at 65. I'm going to try and get results." So that means you have to get results, right? That's what results-based, business means. If you're gonna go down a route of we're foregoing the style and we're not going to try and play a certain way, and you're going for results, which is what he did against Leeds and what he did against Leicester. He's going for results. And you have to get the result against Everton. How can you draw at home to Everton with that amount of quality on the bench and you decide that, okay, I'm not going to bring on any forwards. I'm going to go into a really defensive 3-5-2 with 30 minutes to go at Stamford Bridge at home to Everton and defend like a relegation side or set up like a relegation side who are clinging on to 3 points in a battle to stay up, to get 40 points. That is how he is playing. He is managing the team and managing the recent fixtures and getting these results based upon acting like a relegation side. Something that you have criticized Moyes for the same thing. Look at the talent in this team and look at the way you're watching Chelsea close out that 30 minutes. You don't have to close out games like that. You can close out games keeping possession. You can close out games by scoring a third goal, by bringing on attackers. You don't have to close out the game like a relegation side at home to Everton. An Everton team that have the worst attack in the league. I'm not, and like you said, there are bad errors. Like Koulibaly got spun, that was awful. The set piece was a joke. Kepa doesn't come out again. This is cross collection. This guy doesn't do it. So that's why his long-term future is never a number 1 for me either. And that's why Tobs goes into him all the time and has the heated debates on Kepa. But at the end of the day, when you've got that kind of talent, and by the way, let's not pretend like Chelsea were playing brilliantly. They were playing decent at best. They didn't blitz Everton. That didn't happen. Pickford didn't get loads of tests. So I don't know where you're going, Lawless, apart from to the manager to begin with, and then you can go to the players, in my opinion. But you have to start with the manager.
You got to talk with both. I'm sorry, I didn't watch the. I saw the game. I said Chelsea versus Everton 5:30 kickoff. I value my time more than that, so I swerved it, and then inevitably in the second half, I checked the score. No, it's the truth. It's the truth. I didn't watch a sniff of that first half. You couldn't pay me to watch that first half against Chelsea versus Everton. Yeah, right. But then I saw my phone, check the scores in the second half. I see that you're 1-0 up, Felix. I didn't see the goal, so I said, oh, whatever, cool. And then I get alerts on my phone, and I'm saying, oh, crap, 1-1. I said, really? Swear. Let me tune in. As soon as I turn it on, what do I see? I see Tarkowski and Ben Godfrey give away the penalty to Reece James. I'm like, oh, for goodness sake. And then I turned it off again because I knew what was going to happen. Shock horror, I checked the scores. It's 2-1. I thought nothing of it. I was like, oh, whatever. Cool. Watching my show now. And then I go to obviously get something from the kitchen. And then I see my phone buzzing off again. Obviously, I'm still angry about Spurs. I thought someone just chatting some rubbish about Spurs. And I see where else. I'm like, hang on a second. And I see 2-2. I said, whoa, 2-2. 2-2 at home to Everton. So now that means that you, this season, didn't beat Nottingham Forest away. Mm-hmm. You've lost, 6? You got 0 out of 6 points against Southampton?
Facts.
Right?
Yeah.
And
3 points out of 6 against Leeds.
3 points. What's that? 2 points out of 6 against Leeds?
No, three out of 6 against Leeds.
3 out of 6 against Leeds, and now you've
3
got
out of 6 against Everton. Sorry.
3 against
Is it
3 out of 6
4
against Everton. Okay,
4
so
against 4
now
out of
if you
6,
make
sorry.
up these points that you've dropped, would you be close to Spurs? Yes or no?
Yes.
So I want you to reiterate again. When I said Chelsea must get top 4, was my statement based on facts or was it just based on hearsay?
Nah, you spit.
I'll ask you again on the Big Six tonight. Thank you. I don't really understand it. I don't really get what is wrong with you guys.
It's facts.
Everton
It's
at
facts.
home with no Dominic Calvert-Lewin, no Damari Gray. I don't think he played, right?
Yeah, no, he did play.
Bro, no, he did.
Oh, he did
Didn't-
play, sorry.
barely didn't do anything, bro. Didn't really do
my
anything.
God,
Bro, they had no shots on target in the first
was
half.
up- he was
Everton's
up
attack
front.
is shit, bro.
He was their striker. Mate, I watched it. And
Do you know what? It's mad,
how
yeah.
bad it was.
You
man.
talk about trying to close a game out. Chelsea are not compact in the last 5 minutes. Look at the goal. Look at the space in the midfield. Look at the gaps. Why are we not compact? If you're gonna play in a negative way to end the game, then be negative. Then commit to that and go with the low block and defend on your 18-yard box or keep possession and wind the clock down. Chelsea did neither. What were we trying to accomplish? What were we trying to do? It was a mess. So once again, the only positives I have to take out from the game is probably Enzo Fernandez.
You know what? That Real Madrid tie is interesting because on paper, yes,
I
you
think
would
he's
think
got.
Real Madrid with the heritage, Ancelotti, Potter has been poor this season. It should be open and shut. And I'm still going to take Real Madrid to knock out Chelsea. But I really expect that to be a close game simply because I don't think Real Madrid have been as strong last season, as strong as they were last season, this season. I think they
blew Liverpool away.
Yeah, I was going to say, Tobs, they blew
but
Liverpool
is
away,
that
man.
Liverpool have been
blew
awful this
Liverpool.
season.
What does that mean? Liverpool have been atrocious this
They've been
season.
better than
Yeah,
you.
so have Chelsea, though, man.
Yeah.
Been better than Chelsea.
What's that?
So have Chelsea.
Are they not better than
Yeah.
Chelsea?
No, but Chelsea have been better defensively than Liverpool, and Chelsea have been better defensively than Liverpool, in my opinion, in recent weeks. And also as well, I think Chelsea have a profile players that can probably hurt Real Madrid more so than Liverpool, especially when I'm looking at the midfield. I'm looking at that midfield. I look at players like Enzo Fernandez who can do a little something against that Real Madrid.
He's quality,
midfield.
man.
Listen,
He looks quality.
Listen, yeah, he is. He's a baller. For me,
Yeah,
he's a
he's
baller.
quality, man.
So the point I'm making is this: I still think they're going to go through, but I don't expect that to be
Easy. It shouldn't be easy. If it's easy,
I
there's
don't
a big
expect that to be
problem.
a blitz.
Yeah.
What I
If
was
it's-
saying,
if
though,
it's- yeah,
Matisse,
go on.
right? What I was saying quick was because I was in that position with Arteta. I was like, I'm done, man. I'm done. Stuck with him. It's now looking like he needed his team, he needed his players, he needed his time. And you've got to now decide as a Chelsea football club what you want to do with Potter. Is this going to be a long term? Doesn't matter. We can come 8th again next season, win nothing. We're still sticking with him. 8th and
Say
5th
the
is what we
catchphrase,
did.
Potts. You can't say that without saying the catchphrase. We know what you're saying. But say
Are
the
you going to trust the
catchphrase.
process?
No! God, please, no! No! No!
There's no way in hell I am tolerating an 8th position next season. I can categorically, emphatically,
And I was like that,
bombastically.
bruv. I was like that.
Yeah, but bro, the
Look at us
difference
now.
is between Chelsea and Arsenal is we have put a lot more money up front into this early. We have flipped
fair.
our squad. We flipped our squad way quicker than you flipped it with Aubameyang and
That's fair.
Lacazette. And we have a better team to begin with when Potter comes in than Arteta does when he walks in as well. We're in the Champions League. Arteta didn't come into a Champions League team. Potter did. So I'm not going to expect to have 2 back-to-back 8th place finishes and then a 5th, and then we'll see signs. Because even if we did get to that point and then he got into a title race, he would still, in my opinion, be doing a poor job because we shouldn't have to wait 4 years or 3 years to get ourselves into that position. That would be a poor job. Even if he
I'm
gets
just saying, you
even if
sound
he
like
copies-
me 3 years ago,
Yeah,
and
but
I was
I-
mudded. I was mudded because
I hear you, but I think for me, even if you go and take a look at Arteta's first opening 25 games statistically and compare it with Potter's, Arteta shits on Potter's first 25 games. Statistically, if you check it, the numbers were ran and I saw them online. and he shits on him.
Fair enough.
He shits on him. So it's like, at no point was Arteta ever in 2 wins in 18 or whatever the hell it is. It just didn't happen. It didn't happen. So I'm not sitting here asking for a 10-game winning run or even a 5. I'm asking for, can we get 5 wins, 5 draws, 5 defeats? Can you win 33% of your games? Like, he's not even doing that. So he's not going anywhere. And the season will pan out the way it pans out because we've missed our boat. But the confidence is lacking massively in him because the traits that Arteta had in terms of ruthlessness, in terms of the way he speaks as well, and kind of he learns fast. Potter's going to have to show that same character development as well. It's not going to just be, he just magically manages to improve because that's the way football goes and it's just linear. It's not going to happen like that. He's actually going to have to learn. He's going to have to learn from these mistakes. So we're going to see what happens.
Lawless has come on. Your internet's got so much better as well. So I don't know what's happened there, man.
I want the treble.
Jumped on, and the tech guys here. The tech guys here, and your internet is now beautiful.
And you padded it out. Your team.
Free seasons. I patted the treble.
You won the treble with Mbappe, Griezmann, all of the stars in your team, isn't it?
Yes, 100%.
There you go. Then.
I played on ultimate mode and I played with competitive mode on and player-based difficulty as well. I'm ready for pro clubs, bro. I'm good. I'm doing well.
Can you play Conference League on that? Can you play Conference League on that?
You can. You can definitely.
Next season, obviously, Chelsea probably be in a Conference League, so you might as well. You know what I mean? Get used to it.
Playing the teams that you've been playing.
Lawless cannot
wait. Look at the table. Look, can anyone
playing nicotine and God.
Chelsea are getting it. It's going to be amazing.
I think Chelsea will get 7th.
But why?
We should be in the top 6.
Matisse, realistically, check this. Why would you not want to be in it when this is a chance for you? I believe this is the only trophy. No, but be real. This is the only trophy Chelsea haven't won. No, you would be the only team.
600 million, and you're going into the Conference League. That is not. You cannot be happy.
Realistically, they would be the only team with a complete set. No, because since this has come, Man United had it before this come on. Now, obviously, they haven't got a complete set. Chelsea win this, they've won everything that they could possibly win.
You're the only one happy about being in that competition, mate. No. Just leave it to West Ham and them, man.
Well, I'd rather be in the top 6, which is bare minimum where we should be.
Mourinho is bigger than Chelsea, and he got a tattoo at the competition, the trophy win, and everything.
Of course he is. Yeah, Mourinho's bigger. Mourinho's bigger than Chelsea. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. How does that make any sense in your brain? Explain that one to me. How does that make any sense whatsoever?
I love Lawless.
We won trophies before he arrived. We won trophies before he arrived. We won trophies after he left. More than you. More than you. Don't worry. You would dance. Do laps for our history before we even got taken over. There's no way a West Ham fan is about to pipe up to me about our success. There's no way.
Why have you got to bring my club into it?
Because I will, and I shout, and I did. You need to focus on beating, Nicotine and Halifax, and all these teams that you play, these little Metro Banks and shit that you come up against in that competition. You better make sure that you win that, playing up nice and that, yeah? Make sure you win that competition in your last 8 now. You make sure. Moyes or no, I don't want to hear about Moyes in Conference League one bit. The individual players that you have and the quality that you have in your team, yeah, considering that, it's the players because Potter didn't do anything wrong. You better make sure that you win that Conference League. Moyes in or Moyes out. Because if you don't, I'm coming for you.
You win it next season, innit?
We won't be in that shit next season because we finish 8th.
Yeah, that's what you're wishing for. How many money you're wishing for 8th? Like I said, you can have a complete set. You'll be saying that. If you win it, you'll be going,
Of course I'm gonna say it, but I don't wanna do it. Like I don't actually want to be in it. Of course, if we did do it, then yes, I'm shamelessly gonna say that.
What is it gonna affect you? What's it gonna hurt you to be in it than be 8th?
Because I've got to cover it. I don't want to watch that shit. I'd rather watch the Europa League. Look at the teams that you're playing. Who did you play? Name 3 players from the game opposition team that you just played. Go on. I told you I would quiz you on this. Name 3 players and don't get your phone. Name 3 players from the team that you just played against on Thursday. Because if you don't name me 3 players, I'm done with this conversation.
Sovic, Skelevic.
You're making up shit.
Got on it.
No, there's a bunch of them Viches in the team. Like, they got a bunch of Viches. And El Pafaneleos. Something like that. Obviously, the pronunciation is it's not my first language. So,
Oh, this is
the pronunciation might not be top notch, but once you see the names, you'll see. Yeah, oh, it's that.
when you win this Conference League, because obviously it's not an if, it's when you win it. When you win it, I don't want to even talk to you about David Moyes getting sacked ever again, because he'll go down as being one of the best managers that West Ham ever had. So don't even talk to me about that, please. Thank you.
Yeah,
Bullshit.
exactly.
He's out.
And you would have qualified for the Europa League next season if you win it, which is a massive overachievement for West
The
Ham.
manager who got into the semi-finals of that competition. So
on the way to completing the set, because he's got Europa League football next year, right?
Well, yeah. We'll be in a higher
some
tier of
managers want
Europe
him out.
than-
It's graceful, isn't it?
Some agenda-driven guys want Moyes out.
Fans,
Imagine.
some fans think they needs to go. It's shocking as far as I'm concerned.
He's done, mate. He's done. Apparently, I just saw a rumor that we're looking at Will Still to take his place.
Who?
Who's that? Oh, the guy from Genk.
the Real
No, not
manager.
Genk. Oh,
The
yeah,
Real
the guy.
manager.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
yeah. He cost
Yeah.
22,000 per game because of
No, they
the,
fixed that up. They sorted that now. They don't pay it. They don't pay it anymore.
God,
But
that
yeah, he
stat was
loves
so
West Ham.
oversaid. Bloody hell. Okay.
Undefeated manager. I think.
Would
Or
you-
they might, I can't remember if I
He
heard.
lost at the weekend.
He did
Yeah.
lost. Yeah, did lose. Still a great accomplishment.
Would you want him?
Do you know what? I've said this on Twitter. It would excite me, but scare me at the same time. Like, it's the unknown. Like, this could be a genius move and he could turn out to be a great manager, or it could be a disaster. But that possibility is what excites me, why I'd be open to it. Wouldn't be my first choice. I want us to take time, but he obviously is a big West Ham fan. And someone you could get behind him. He's like 30 or 31. He's like his early 30s as well.
Yeah.
Like, he's really young.
He's really young. Yeah. No, 100%.
So you'd hope he'd get a bit more seasoning, but you know,
I thought Kevin Nolan and Mark Noble were tag teaming if Moyes went.
no, that's this season. If we lose to fucking Southampton, then we get him out. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh,
so
so
that's for now.
There's another breaking point. How many breaking points you guys gonna have?
No, but
in October he had 3 games left. I heard.
Yeah, and then I don't know. For some reason, they kept hold of him. Like, it's a big, honestly, it's a big ongoing debate. There are still Moyes lovers in this fan base. There are still delusional fans. I had a fan on there trying to tell me, I was confident against Fulham away before about the Mitrovic and Willian missing the game. Now I'm even more confident. It's like, who do you think you are? What we've won one away game all season in the league. One.
Jesus Christ.
And we're supposed to be confident against, and that was against Aston Villa before they sacked Gerrard.
That's bad.
Yeah, like it's mad. Like, honestly, Moyes, all he can do, look, just keep us up and win the fucking trophy and move on. Move on. Your time is done here, because there's nothing he can do in the future to correct the errors that he has made. Like, this squad, how can you spend all that money and not understand? Like, we're trying to get Scamacca to play like Antonio. Why spend that money? Like, this is the problem I have. It's wasteful.
But you did beat Narnia 4-0, so you know.
Scamacca scored, by the way.
Exactly. So let's
Mubama scored.
Let's give David Moyes some credit, because it's a very credible competition.
No.
Like you said, complete the set. We have to speak on Arsenal as well, because I know
Wait a minute. Hold
you didn't play this weekend. No one wants to talk about Narnia.
Wait a minute.
You did miss the Tottenham section, yeah.
So wait, when I said speak on Arsenal first and then I'll jump on, I was like, yeah, cool. I can miss the Arsenal wank fest. We can get in. We can talk about fucking Spurs, like, and Conte not respecting them.
No one asked you to be late. Okay.
No, really?
No, we didn't actually speak on Arsenal, did we? Pots, we didn't speak on Arsenal, did we not? We started with Tottenham.
No, it's not.
Why?
Yeah, we first started with Tottenham, and then we just naturally, Lawless, just natural. This show's natural. It's organic.
Why do we always leave Arsenal to the end? Surely they're
because
first.
saying
They're
about
boring because they keep. But remember, we went in the group chat. We trolled Pots. We came after him, so we can still run something. No.
Oh yeah. Fuck the league. Let's talk about Europe. Obviously, they're out of Europe.
Yeah, let's do a
Wisdom
West
in
Ham.
Europe.
Fuck the league off, go down, and then just concentrate on the Conference League.
Listen, I'm the only one here, yeah, who's in Europe still, right?
I'm also
You're not.
still in Europe, by the way.
Batista's-
Nah, technically, you're on
No, I am
No,
technically
technically
in.
they are.
I
in
am
the
technically
European
still in
competition,
Europe,
mate.
actually.
And they're in the Champions
I'm
League.
actually 2 European competitions ahead of you. Like I'm playing Real Madrid. Like you know
yeah,
what I
you're
mean?
getting
Like
knocked
serious
out
shit.
though. It's a
No,
fact.
you could also get knocked out. Who have you got in the next round?
Ghent.
Ghent could easily knock you out. Honestly.
Belgium.
Then you're nicking their manager, aren't you?
Listen,
That's how they're going to beat them.
we've got
Nick the
Ghent,
manager.
and then we've got Anderlecht possibly in the semis again.
Yeah, you're finished.
Anderlecht
You're
or
not-
Alkmaar, who are second
out.
in the Dutch league. Yeah,
Yeah, you could
So-
easily go out. Easily.
Lazio went out, didn't they?
yeah. Lazio went out and Villarreal went out.
I said you're
Own
not
that
winning
up.
it. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care
because-
who's left. I said you are not winning it. You're crap.
All right, but this is the mindset. This is what I don't get, and it's the same with Totts, right? How you basically just trip yourselves up. We're crap, but you constantly mock the teams we're playing and say they're crap. So what is it?
It's
Like,
both.
we're not winning it
You're
because we're
both
crap.
crap. What do you mean, what is it?
But you
It's
can't
obvious.
mock the
You're both
opposition
crap.
and say we can't win it.
You're in a crap competition playing crap teams and you're crap. That's what it is.
That's the
literally.
fact.
If we're crap
Yeah.
playing crap, then why aren't we winning it? Because we're crap then. Surely we're on an even
Because you're
playing.
better than the other crap teams.
Yeah, but at some
You
point
don't
your
even know the
crapness
other
will
teams.
your crapness will override their crapness, is what we're saying.
You
Everybody's
don't
crap.
even know the other teams. How do you know
Exactly,
that we're not
I
better than the
know.
other crap teams?
Bro,
You
it's
give
just,
them
it's just a
all these
feeling.
little nicknames.
It's just a feeling.
Let me see who's in this crap thing, this competition.
We got Fiorentina, Alkmaar,
Alkmaar
Um,
could handle.
Anderlecht.
Anderlecht, yeah.
Here we go. I've got them.
Polek-
I've got them. Fiorentina, Basel, AZ
Basel.
Alkmaar, Nice, Anderlecht,
Bruv.
West Ham, and Lech Poznan, whoever they are.
Facts, bro.
Both
Nice, Anderlecht, Azar Alkmaar, and who's the other
Basel
one?
and Fiorentina.
Basel, Florentina. One of these men will knock you out, man. 100%. What are you
That's-
coming
that's-
Didn't Arsenal win like 7-0 or something?
What?
Are they second in the Dutch league? Yeah, you're finished.
Wasn't it them that like smacked the team? Like was it them or final that smacked the team like 6 or 7-0 or something like that?
I think it was final. Was it final?
Oh, it might have been final.
Might have been final. Yeah, I think it might be final.
Tobes, obviously you're just praying that we do go out because you've got nothing left. Yeah. Like I said last week, you're Ian Bill, mate, with the I got nothing left. That's you. That's you. I got
No,
nothing
you're right.
left.
I've got
That's-
nothing left for Spurs apart from potentially getting top 4 this season, which I don't believe is going to happen under Conte. But make no mistake, you are crap. Like, I just
we
need
could
you
win
to-
more than you.
I just
Oh,
need you
my
to know
eyes.
that you're crap, and I don't really care about the Conference League.
I
I
don't
don't
matter.
care about the Conference League. I genuinely don't care.
But sorry, says the fucking guy who wanks over the League Cup that they won 20 years ago or some shit.
When you just made that up, you've
Oh,
literally just
in
made
my
that up.
lifetime, we won the League Cup. We won the League Cup in my lifetime. Mr. Lifetime FC over here. Like,
No, you
oh,
chat rubbish. You just made that up. God,
So,
Potts,
you don't
Matisse,
claim the
you're my
League
witness. Has he not just made up this rubbish? You've just made
Yes.
that up.
I
You
believe
I
it.
didn't
Wait,
know
wait,
you.
Tobes
I didn't
has
know
never
you when you
brought
won the
up the
league,
League
man.
Cup.
So League Cup, sorry.
Has
You
Tobes
talk with
never
so much
brought up the League Cup?
You talk with so much conviction
Has he?
about trophies and stuff, right? When West Ham went sweet F4, and then you criticize Spurs in the same
Okay, what do
breath.
you
I don't
win?
understand it. It's
What do you
crazy to me.
What did you win? Tell me. What's the last trophy you won? What's the last time you won a
Yeah,
trophy?
2 League Cups in 20-something years or 30-something years. I don't know.
So you're
2
claiming League
Cups.
Cups then? You're claiming League
What?
Cups? You're claiming
Why
League
wouldn't I
Cups?
claim League Cups? There's still a
So
cup.
I
man.
can't
You're
claim
talking-
Conference League, but you can claim League Cup.
You can claim whatever you want. I'm telling you that I don't give a damn about you winning the Conference League.
So
don't
why
care.
should I give a damn about you winning League Cup?
You shouldn't give a damn about me winning the League Cup. But when you talk about winning trophies, you don't win anything. You don't win anything. So that's
Okay,
what I
but
don't
I'm
understand.
saying
you
if-
don't win anything. You don't win trophies. West Ham don't win trophies. In my lifetime, West Ham have never won a trophy in the top flight. in my lifetime.
Well, listen, Tobs, I wish you all the good health in the world because I want you to make it to the end of the season to see us win a trophy in your lifetime. Yeah. Listen, take your vitamins, yeah, all of that. Keep going gym. You know, look both ways when you cross the street. All of that. Make it.
The day you either win it or you get knocked out is going to be the maddest episode.
So sweet,
because if you get knocked out, you're finished. If you get knocked out, I'm telling you.
Because now the thing
Yeah,
is,
you are proper mudded.
genuinely, Champions League football is the only European football I watch. I don't even watch Europa League. But now, because he wants to talk and run his mouth and chat shit, I'm gonna get invested. I'm gonna get invested in the Conference League. So let's see.
Wow. I'm gonna watch them against.
I want you to do a watch along for the
100%.
final, yeah, because I want to see your tears.
You're not
I probably will do a watch along for the final. Fuck
Yeah.
it. If you're in it, I'll do it.
And if you're in the final, you'll lose it anyway.
If you're in it, I'll do it. If you're not in it, I'm not running.
I hope you get to the final and then lose. It'll be beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
Oh, that would be great.
That's
That
so
would be
evil.
great. Because then you'll give it the big one from Wigan and then bang. His dreams will get smashed.
We're getting to the final. We're getting to the final. I'm telling you, we've
You're winning it, mate. You're winning it.
You're winning it, bro. You're winning it. Don't back out now. No runners-up medals for you. You're winning it,
It
bro.
could be a West Ham Fiorentina final by the looks of
Could
it.
be.
Yeah.
But
That'd be good.
predict-
I'd love to see that.
Yeah, it'd be
Let's
good.
let's end on Arsenal. I saw the highlights. You guys slapped them, Saka and everybody. Just again, I'm bored of it. After what happened on Thursday, I feel like you must. Do you feel like you must? Do you feel like you kind of have to win the Premier League? I'm not saying that it's going to change Arteta or change the overachieving of the season. I didn't have Arsenal for top 4. So before people start commenting saying, "Oh, you didn't even have us for top 4," and now you're saying you must win the league, it's not meant to be put out in that manner. What I'm saying is that if you have nothing to take away from the season, silverware wise, after the way you've performed as the best performing team in the league, and you've foregone foregoed all of these trophies to the side to focus on said league, and then you don't win it, there's nothing to take that's tangible, and that is terrible for you lot. So
yeah, man, no, you're right. You're right. We must win the league. 100%. What I will accept is if we take it to the wire, then I can accept that we've had a great season, right? But what I won't accept is if we lose to Manchester City like with 5 games to go or something like that and completely crumble, because that's not what it's about now. 1 game a week with that team, we should be able to at least go to the wire now. As for the European competition, I personally feel like the manager got it completely wrong. I would have gone with a strong team and I would have taken them off. It didn't affect us Sunday. Yesterday, it didn't actually affect us, which I'll pick up the players for.
Yeah.
But they played 120 minutes. Some of them were playing like 70 that he wanted to give like 20 minutes. He completely got it wrong. Like, we played a team that he was then throwing emergency players on for. Saka, go. Partey, go. Zinchenko, go. Gabriel Martinelli. There's quite a few of them played 120 minutes. And it just proves to me...
a bit of arrogance from him. Like,
massive.
That he thought...
Massive arrogance.
Lisbon,
disrespect to
my B team.
Yeah, it was. It was. My B team are better than Lisbon, and they weren't. And, I honestly believe we might have threw it away in the first leg. Playing Turner and Kivior, it was a mistake. They were poor, man. They were really poor out there. But
is this Kivior guy any good, by the way?
Sorry, he looks... No, it's calm. He looks quicker than Usain Bolt, but so far that's about it. Listen, it's a bit harsh. I've only seen like minutes of him, not games of him yet. But nothing that I would write home about at the moment. I'm still jury out on Fabio Vieira. I think that's a lot of money for what I'm seeing. £40 million. Not so sure that I rate the kid at the moment. I like a few touches. He's very lightweight. He's on the floor. He was terrible on Thursday. But it proves to me that there's a huge drop-off still within 3 positions or 4 positions. Saliba, that worries me. I don't know how long it's going to be. I'm praying it's not long-term.
I had 5 weeks.
Yeah, I'm hearing it's weeks, not days. Tomiyasu, rest of the season, I'm hearing. So there's worry there. Partey needs to stay fit because with Jorginho, Vieira and Xhaka in midfield, it looks shocking. What lost us the game for me? They were absolutely awful together. Ødegaard, it's a huge drop-off, Vieira. And when Saka's not in the side, Reece Nelson, like, come on, he got his flowers the other week, but he's not for me. So we definitely need to keep those players fit if we've got any chance of winning this league. He got it wrong. It was arrogance. It was disrespect. And we've gone out now. But people saying blessing in disguise, we'll find out, won't we? It won't be a blessing in disguise if we don't win the league. So we've got to take them to the wire. We go 11 points clear if we beat Leeds and Liverpool beat City. I personally don't see Liverpool beating City.
That's a
but
madness.
I think if that happens, then it must be ours then, man. You cannot. And if it isn't ours, 11 points clear, then
it will never be yours.
I mean, it will never be ours. And listen, if we don't do it, even if we do get to a stage where we lost the league with a few to go, Arteta's going nowhere. Edu and Co are going nowhere. The Cronkies are invested again in the summer window, and we add to this squad with Declan Rice and Co and see where we go in the next season for me. And I'm a big fan of what I've seen this season, Matisse. I think you three will probably disagree because you hate Arsenal, but I think we deserve to win the league.
No, I agree. I think you do deserve to win it. I just hope that you don't.
Of course. Yeah. And I think this team at the moment are playing the best. Football, in my opinion.
No, I think Arsenal played the best football. I've questioned Man City up until recent weeks, maybe the last month. But up until that point, Man City have been very questionable with their performances. They haven't been playing like themselves, right? To the standards
that Chelsea ever played the best football when you won the league? You didn't deserve to win your league titles because you played shit football?
I think it depends. We committed to playing our way, which was, make no mistake, at the beginning of the Conte run where we lost to Arsenal at the Emirates, then we went on a massive 11 straight winning game run. We battered Everton 5-0. We battered Man United at home. We played great football. But then towards the second half of the season, we went very pragmatic and we started to lock up shop and go and get those clutch wins. We beat Man City at the Etihad 2-1. So, and then we started to get negative towards the end of the season, but we decided to close it out that way. Man City and Pep don't play like that. So their whole premise is to play on the front foot, to play good football. So when they're not doing that, then they're not performing to their level. If Man City were a team that were happy to go the other way and play negatively and sit deep, then I would respect it. I have no problem with winning titles in any way, shape, or form. You have to do it. I'm not, like Toby said, I'm not like a style fanatic. I would prefer to watch good football, but if I'm not getting it, then it just puts more pressure on you to win because I'm not enjoying.
Why would Man City?
That's a bag of waffle, to be fair.
How's that a bag of waffle?
Because you're sitting there, right?
This guy's are coming in with unpopular opinions today.
Unpopular. Well, listen, right?
Is this Twitter.com to you?
You're sitting there and saying Arsenal deserve to win the league because they played.
You actually hate Arsenal. I don't. Yeah. I hate Arsenal. But you have failed to praise or credit Arsenal once this season on this show, and I find that mind-boggling. How have you managed to get to nearly April without praising Arsenal, who are 8 points clear at the top?
Tobs has said it.
Arsenal fans, if you're watching this, don't fall for it. Because what he's trying to do, he's trying to mobilize you to all fight his battles, yeah. But this is what I'm saying, right? If you win the league, you will have deserved to win it. But Matisse is sitting there and saying that Arsenal deserve to win it because they played the best football.
Do Arsenal deserve to win it at this current moment? Bar a capitulation, they currently deserve. The table doesn't lie.
If they don't win the league, they won't have deserved to win it.
Of course. Yeah, if they go and have a capitulation and say Arsenal play their next 10 games horrendously, then they wouldn't have deserved it. But the question was, do Arsenal deserve to win it at this current moment? They do.
No one does.
Why do Man City deserve to? You said, don't Man City deserve to win it? Why do Man City deserve
you explain
to win
to
it?
me at this current moment. You explain to me why Man City deserve to win it right now.
No, well, my point is the reason I said that is if you're saying why do Arsenal deserve and not Man City, I'm not saying either deserve to win it at this point, but you can't single out Arsenal and then just say, oh, Man City don't deserve to win it, but Arsenal do. That's effectively what you were saying.
Yeah, because at this current moment, Arsenal are top and they've played the best football.
Yeah, but it's not about like we just said, and your little excuse of Man City traditionally play attacking football, but Arsenal played better attacking football. Your team has never played the best football anytime you won the league.
That's a lie. We won it. That's a lie. That's a lie. When we won it under Carlo Ancelotti, we played the best football in the league. We absolutely battered everybody in that season. 8-0, 7-0, 6-0.
What was the score when you played West Ham that season?
Bro, God knows. Something disgusting, probably. I'll have to go back and check it.
Let me Google it. Chelsea v...
That was actually one of the highest goal scoring seasons. That was one of the highest goal scoring seasons for a Premier League winner.
Talking about Chelsea.
Over 100 goals we scored. How dare you? How dare you discredit that season in particular?
But why, Tobs? Why are you looking at the West Ham score?
And also the Mourinho first two as well. Dominant, absolutely dominant.
What was the Tottenham? What did you beat Tottenham by?
What a surprise! What a surprise! So West Ham drew at Upton Park. Guess what the score was at Stamford Bridge?
4-0.
I don't know.
3-0.
4-1.
What was the score at Stamford Bridge against Spurs? Give us the Spurs score. Give us the Spurs
Yo,
score.
you're actually mad.
He's got his phone out. Lawless has got his phone out.
Yeah, but you can't come back at Tottenham and Tobs because he's not the one that made the point. You said with chest that every season we've won the league, we didn't play good football. You just categorically lied. Literally just lied.
One season is all you
And
get.
the Mourinho ones as well. Pure
No,
dominant.
you didn't play the best. I'm not saying you played good. You didn't play the best football. Yeah? You didn't play the best. Right. What was it, 2011?
And do you know what's mad? You are obviously looking at the best football as in the most entertaining, right? But also the best football just means the best system.
Chelsea won 2-1.
Arsenal have had the best system, in my opinion, in this season. Their system has been the most bulletproof. Would you disagree with that?
Yeah, but so what? Because they had the best system, they deserve to win. I just think it's whole deserve. Like
The build-up
so
play has
you're
been
saying-
better than the build-up play has been better because obviously Man City have chopped and changed their back line.
What have you made of Arsenal this
Like,
season?
what are
Now
you
we're in April.
what are you
Now
grasping at here? I don't understand.
Now we're almost in April. What have you thought of Arsenal?
Man City's final third play has been questioned so much this season.
But let me tell you about Man City, right? They've been competing on more fronts than Arsenal. They've been competing in the Champions League, right? A much stronger competition than the Europa League. They're still in the FA Cup, right?
Yeah, that's a season. That's overall. I'm talking about Premier League.
No, but no, you have to take that context because that has a knock-on effect on the league. They're competing on more fronts.
That'll ruin their chances of the league. That's what I'm hoping.
Than that, but that's what I'm saying. So we can.
Whenever but I hear you. But whenever you judge a 38 game season, you judge it on those 38 games. You don't start going outside and saying, "Oh, they got knocked out here." I get it's context. When we won the league with Conte, we didn't play in Europe. That was context. It was maybe easier for us to play those games because we didn't have Europe. Yeah, but that doesn't take away from the fact that team has still been the best team in their domestic league.
I remember when Arsenal fans thought they'd win the league when they finished 8th because Chelsea did it. I remember that.
The fact is this. Lawless hates Arsenal, does not want to give any credit to us whatsoever.
I just said you've been
great. Is the fact. Oh my god!
You said that for two milliseconds of a Grand Prix, right? Of a pit stop, and then for the rest of the race, you fucking trashed
ended with "They've done great."
Yeah,
this guy for 2.5 seconds of a pit stop in a race, he was like, Arsenal were decent, and then the rest of the race just like fucking shit. The Trossard deal was a fraudulent deal. Saliba's shit.
I said if Arsenal win the league, they would have deserved it, right? I said that out of my mouth. But I'm not sitting here like you go, yeah, Arsenal deserve it because they played the best football. And no, I'm not saying Man City deserve it at this time. I'm not saying Arsenal deserve it.
What you're doing is a technicality.
End of season.
Yes.
Yeah? Let's ask
right now, do West Ham deserve to be relegated?
Well, I don't even know what to say.
Does Moyes deserve to be sacked? The season's not over.
That's
season's not over. Season's not over.
He's in the Europa Conference League.
200 million spent, and we're 18th. Yeah, you deserve to be sacked.
But there's still 10. You have 12 games to play for. 12 times 3, right? You can get all of those points, and then you could be.
Okay.
So the season's not over.
If we do get all of those points, right, I will
36 points to play
change
for.
my name to Daniel Moyes fan Lawless. Yeah,
you have 36 points to play for. If you get all 36 points, you'll be put on to 50 points.
Yeah,
that'll be a decent season, no?
If that happens, honestly, I'll get a tattoo of David Moyes or something. Like,
Lawless just deflects. He loves to deflect all the.
How am I deflecting? Ask me a question and I will answer it.
I asked what your thoughts are of Arsenal now. We're nearly in April.
Yeah, very good, very good. Playing very well.
Thank you.
So proud of you. You're staying the course. You know, you're doing well in the league.
Wow, this really burns you, doesn't it? Fuck me. Your hatred for Arsenal is on another level. Damn.
It's worse than Tobs, and Tobs can't stand
it. Worse than Toby.
It's like, absolutely mad.
Damn.
No, but it's
crazy.
just, you know,
You're struggling.
Tobs is happy to actually say, "Do you know what? I hate it, but you're playing well." You can't bring yourself around to
Can't
say
even
it.
get the
You hate
words
it.
out.
I've just said it. I've just
No,
said
you're
everything.
struggling.
Doing
Struggling
really
to say it,
well.
I'll tell you that.
Should be really happy with it.
You're speaking like somebody that's in key stage 3. You're not even giving us any detailed answer. Man's just going, yeah, you played well, good, very
Stage
good.
3.
like
You sound like a kid that wants to go home and they've got a few lines to write in detention. Good, very good.
scoring a lot of goals, which is a really always
Goals
good
are
to
going
do.
in, goals are not going in the other end.
Yeah, exactly. Bagging them
Oh,
in
this-
They're scoring more goals than they're conceding.
Oh,
What,
man.
That's what Arsenal are
continue, up
doing.
the Arsenal. Come on, you Gunners.
Wow.
Clip that. Clip that. I must
I
admit,
might clip that and use that as an intro, yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Pot, so you're
Oh.
gonna join the Arsenal ultras and like get all your black gear out and get your
Oh,
drumming and that.
I ain't getting into the Ashburton Army, mate. That's not for me. There.
Is that they call it? Oh, the Ashburn Army.
Ashburton Army. That's not for me, man. But listen, they great atmosphere. I'll give them that. But yeah, man. Listen, we were in seriousness. It's been actually in the 6 games a pleasure, an absolute pleasure to watch us. And I've not said that since the Highbury days, Matisse. I've seen us play good football at the Emirates. Don't get me wrong, but it was never with the feeling of wow, this is just beautiful, beautiful to watch until Highbury. And since Highbury, I feel there's so many players at the moment. It's very hard to pick 1 or 2 out that have been man of the match. I've walked away from games thinking I could pick 5 or 6, and I've never done that, man. Even at Highbury, sometimes I'd think Henry was brilliant today, or didn't Vieira have a good game? For me, it's like Ben White yesterday. Rob Holding yesterday was even amazing. Partey, superb. Erdegaard, Saka and Martinelli, unplayable. Trossard, what a signing he's been. Zinchenko, so integral to how we're playing. Gabriel, another one that goes under the radar, probably been one of our best defenders this season. Aaron Ramsdale, after a bit of a joke on Thursday, getting lobbed, and in my opinion, probably could have done better for some of the penalties, but, it's penalties at the end of the day, was brilliant. So I love this first 11, man. I love it. And, a player that came on that was one of my favourite players, showed why he's sharp and still a quality player, Kieran Tierney. Absolutely wicked when he came on. Be gutted if we have to lose him in the summer. I really will, man, because there's rumours that he might be off to Newcastle, which would be a massive shame for me because he's a player I love and I think epitomises everything I want at the club in terms of mentality and the way that he plays. But just showed his class, and Gabby Jesus coming back into the mix now. Looking sharper with every minute. Smith Rowe come on, looking good, and looks like he's going to be getting back into the swing of things now. So the only thing that I believe ruin our chances of this title is injuries to key players. If that doesn't happen and we keep this squad fit every week, I honestly believe we can do it, man. So touching everything, good luck comes. I hope
injuries and Man City, yeah.
Say again, mate.
The only thing that can derail our season is injuries. I'm saying it should be our injuries and Man City.
Well, of course, if Man City flop and they lose 4 games, then of course, yeah, we've got that. But I think that we being 8 points clear now, pressure's on them. They win against Liverpool, which I think they will. It's 5 points, win all of our games.
You're in full control, though, isn't it? You're in full control.
It's ours, man. Yeah. So Man City can do what they want, Toby. They can win all their games if they want to. They still won't win the league if we win them all as well.
It's true.
It's yours, yeah?
Yeah, man. I've said it. I can't say no now, can I? I said it weeks ago. After
so
Manchester
why are you
United,
asking for no bets, eh? Why aren't you asking for no bets? Is that you only bet me, yeah?
Yeah, because
you ask me for bets. Why are you asking for no bets?
Because I don't come with this chest like you and ask stupid.
What do you mean?
Stuff like you.
You just said you're going to win the
Conference League. We're going to win the Conference League. We're going to win the Conference League. Have a bet. Nah, you're all right.
You just said we're going to win the league, mate. You just said you'd win the league.
Yeah, I said after United, I think we'll do it. Yeah, I said after.
Do you know what? Yeah, if Man City lose to they're at home to Liverpool, isn't it?
Yeah, they'll beat them.
Thank the heavens, because if they were away, Anfield, it can happen. And
we've got
if
tough
they lose
games: Liverpool, Anfield, Newcastle away, Chelsea at home, West Ham away. That's going to be a really tough one, isn't it, Lawless?
Oh yeah. What about you? You got to come to the fortress that is the London Stadium as well. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Who, me?
Do you know what? I tell you what, if we lose to Man City but beat Arsenal, Moyes might go up a point. He might go up just a notch.
See, look, you're too
He doesn't-
easily
he
swayed.
doesn't hate
This is how I
Arsenal.
know that
He
your Moyes stance is not serious, because you're too easily swayed by silly little things like that.
I
I'm
said,
worried
I'm
about
not
Arsenal.
swayed.
Too much of a
Worried
passion
about
merchant. Too much of a passion merchant, unfortunately.
Hey, would you take Arsenal coming second and West Ham getting relegated?
Probably
Or
would,
West Ham
wouldn't you?
staying up and Arsenal winning the league? What one do you prefer?
Obviously, I want West Ham to stay up. Obviously,
Oh, okay,
but,
so you'd rather us see us win the league then. Okay, you're not
Okay.
as deluded as I thought.
All right, well, let's wrap up here, man. I think that's a great way to close it. Madness. Potts, let them know where to find you. It's been a pleasure. I need
Cheers,
you
brother.
to start dropping points if you don't mind, man. If you don't mind.
Well, I hope we don't, man. But I can see us dropping points, and I can see Man City dropping points as well. But this is going to be going down to the wire, in my opinion. If you do want to come follow me, it's at Dan Arsenal 87 at Football's 12th Man podcast. We've got a show. We've got a couple of shows coming up actually. So please make sure you head over there. That'd be great. And Matisse, it's always a pleasure, man. Do you know what? It's always a pleasure when it's a weekend like that, where I can come on here, still take the mick out of West Ham, because even though they didn't play, it's still funny that they're in a relegation battle. Tottenham, wow.
must have
what
hit
a
your head
circus.
Thursday, though, innit? You must have hit your head on Thursday.
Oh, listen, it made up for it on
Emirates,
Sunday,
innit?
man. It made up for it yesterday. It's all good, man.
There's still a lot of drama to come in this show, like Chelsea Champions League, West Ham Conference League or relegation, and Arsenal League. Tottenham I don't think if they make top four or don't make it, I don't think Toby's going to give a shit either way. So that's probably the only club where there's just nothing left.
You got nothing left. Nothing left.
Lawless. Lawless, let them know where to find you.
We need to call him Toby Beale, mate. Toby Beale.
Oh my days.
Oh
Let them
my
know,
God.
Lawless. It's been a pleasure, bro. Even though late, this is great. This is great addition to come in and do what you did.
Gotta be done, mate. It's gotta be done.
Let them know where can they find you if they want to see more shamelessness.
The West Ham Fan TV. Find me on there. All the content. You can see the watch-alongs for the Europa Conference League, the Premier European League. Get me here on Twitter if you want to connect me personally. And mostly it's me fighting off Moyes lovers at the moment. Arguing with them these days. But yeah.
There you are.
Need to let it go, man.
And
I'll let it go when we let him go.
Tobs, let them know where to find you, bro. I know there's no previews, reviews dropping, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm sure there's something
tapping
coming
Tobs
up.
on all socials. I literally did a stream on Saturday about the Conte interview, so go check that out now. Probably got the THFC show going on this week on Furad's channel, so come and check that as well. Yeah, sorry guys, my mum's calling me. One sec.
That's all right. Well, guys, we're gonna wrap up.
Tobs was done for the season. He's not going to games anymore. He's not watching games anymore. What he's done.
He's not done covering, but he's done watching, and that is.
How can you cover if you don't watch?
Well, he's done going to the game. Sorry, he's gonna watch them from home.
He won't watch the games, and he'll just listen to Gary Neville and Jamie Carragher on a Monday night.
Exactly. He's gonna watch him from home. That will show him. That will teach him. Hey, I'm gonna watch him in my bedroom.
Change that would change the results.
Yeah, exactly.
Love to.
Make sure you subscribe, guys. Smash up all the likes. Subscribe to everybody's channels, and I'll see you. I'll see you next time. In a bit, people. Peace. International break. Screw the international break. Southgate ball. No one wants to see that.
Southgate out.
International Moyes.